door opened and they stumbled into the library. The library? The shaking had stopped, but they knew the danger hadn't passed. They ran across the hallway, straight for the large metal door. Next to the door was the Uranus card reader. They slid the key card through, and the door rumbled. Out of the library and into the hallway they ran. At the end of the hallway was a door. Junpei reached in his pocket to pull out the key as he ran towards it. The key he put into the lock was the Neptune key. He turned it. The lock clicked. As one, they shoved the door open and poured through it. In front of them was another great metal door. Above it was a metal plaque. It read, Incinerator. So this is the Incinerator. This is the first time I've seen it from the side, but yeah, I think so. Then there ought to be a lever near the door. Yeah, right here. Junpei ran up to it. Pull that and the door should open. Got it. As he spoke, he pulled the lever. The motor in the door groaned as it slowly ground open. There was no time to waste. As soon as the door had opened far enough to admit them, all four dashed through. Then suddenly there before them were the four they'd parted from earlier. What? Ace and Lotus stood in front of the door number 9. Santa was curled up into a ball against the wall of the incinerator holding his stomach. And then there was June. She sat, slumped against the wall, exhausted. What had happened? Junpei ran towards June. He skidded to a stop in front of her and knelt down. What's wrong? Are you okay? Her face was pale and her lips dry. When she spoke, he could barely hear her. That boy, you came to get me. Of course I did. I made a promise. I'm so glad you're here. So glad. She mumbled the same words over and over, weakly. Junpei could feel his heart breaking. Hey, what happened to you? I'm fine. I just fainted. I wasn't feeling very good. I'm feeling a lot better now, though. Are you sure? Yes, I just need to rest a little longer. I'm sure I'll be fine. You shouldn't worry about me. She was looking towards Santa. Junpei turned to look as well. Santa grimaced, his face contorted in pain. Did he get, like, shot in the fucking stomach? Seven grabbed him by the collar and roared at him. Hey, where is it? Where's the gun? You hid it somewhere. Despite himself, a grunt of pain escaped Santa's lips as Seven shook him. I don't have it. I got sucker punched and they took the gun. What? Who took the gun? Wow, my voice is just dying. Isn't that obvious? I took the gun. God damn it, not at this shit again. Ace! He did indeed have the revolver in his hands. It was pressed against Lois's temple. Ace had her pinned to him with the other arm, and she was shaking visibly. Her fire attitude was gone, replaced by fear. She didn't dare speak. There was sweat on her forehead, and when her eyes weren't flickering up to the gun pressed against her, they seemed desperately want to say something. Yeah, fuck off, Ace. What the hell do you think you're doing, Ace? Or maybe I should say, Gentaro Hongo, CEO of Cradle Pharmaceutical. Seven's deep baritone rumble shook the wall. Ace sneered. You have me at a disadvantage, and I don't like that. You know me, but I don't know you. Do you have any idea how much I've suffered? Can you even begin to understand my pain? The pain of prosopagnosia. Right. Junpei's voice was so casual. Or at least it was trying to be. Another irritating insect. And how do you know that? Junpei couldn't say, he just knew. Another unexplainable mystery. No matter. If you don't want to answer, it makes no difference to me. This is a waste of time anyways. Time for me to go. Behind Ace, Junpei could see the red. It was placed in the small indentation on the wall. Quickly, Ace placed his hand on the scanner. It beeped and he forced Lois's hand onto it as well. And then at last he reached into the pocket of his jacket. He pulled something out and pressed it against the panel. The third asterisk appeared on the red. The thing he had used for the final verification was the bracelet with the number 9. It had belonged to the first man to die. Wait, but shouldn't that be like 6 if June's is actually 9? I don't fucking understand this. Whatever. I believe I've won this game. His smirk made Junpei's blood boil. I've had quite a time playing with you. You must thank Zero, I suppose. Wait, something about the way he'd spoken. Did Ace not know who Zero was? Junpei's eyes flickered towards Santa. He hadn't moved since they'd entered the room. Santa was still holding his stomach and groaning as if in immense pain. Junpei wasn't sure if it was real pain, but he wasn't sure it wasn't either. What the hell did Santa have up his sleeve this time? Hey, Ray, this game ends now. I will escape, and the rest of you will have a slightly less pleasant ending. I suggest you enjoy your final moments. Goodbye. Wait! Ace, of course, paid no heed to Seven's request and laid hold of the lever of the red. With a sickening sense of finality, he pulled it. What the fuck is going on? What? What? Aha! Ah, fucking ha! Why isn't it opening? Lois tried to take advantage of Ace's confusion and managed to twist herself out of his grasp, but at the last second he grabbed hold of her wrist and shoved it onto the red. He waved the number 9 bracelet over the red and then his own bracelet as well. He pulled the lever a second time. Wait, that doesn't make any sense because, like, that bracelet was a 9 when he first... He definitely was a 9 unless he went in with June. Did he use June to... Oh, I think he did. Wait. Who did... I don't remember. Who did the 9th man use to open that door? That is a 9 in the other ending? The 9th man had Clover to start. He had 9 to try killing Snake. I'm super confused. He forced Clover and Ace. Why is this not working, man? I'm fucking... Like, why is this... He used Clover to open the 4th door. Ninth man used Clover and Junpei, wasn't it? I don't remember anymore. When he killed himself on 5. Clover and Junpei. Oh, okay. Wait, no, it shouldn't be Clover and Junpei. It should. It was Clover, Ace. Yeah, because Ace was in on it. Because it was Ace. Like, I think. Yeah. That makes that. Yeah, that makes sense. So, what the fuck is going on? What is this? Why? The digital root should be 9. It has to be 9. Then why isn't it opening? Did they did they swap that bracelet later? But that's only if that bracelet's a 9, but this bracelet's like a 6 now. Or something. Seven chose that moment to act. He moved far faster than the man of his bulk should have been able to, and launched that bulk straight at Ace. It was over before they knew it. In the blink of an eye, Ace was on the floor. He rolled onto his side, groaning in pain. Lois ran straight for Junpei. She darted around behind him and stuck her head out, making sure to keep Junpei between herself and Ace. Phew, that was too close. Too close. Thank you, Seven. This shipping. Don't mention it. Seven stood over Ace, his breathing slow and heavy. Just one punch ain't enough for this piece of shit. After what he did 9 years ago, I ought to rip him to pieces. If a suspect can't talk, they ain't much good. Once he's locked up in the cell, we're gonna have a little chat. 9 years ago? Oh, then you must be... You finally figured it out. Dumbass. Ace planted his hands on the floor and shook his head. Junpei walked towards him. He stopped, looked down at Ace, with pity on his face. You killed Kubota, Nijisaki, and Musashibo. Wait, Nijisaki? He peered at Junpei, genuinely confused. Alright, you don't know yet. Alright, well, we'll just go through them in order then. Let's start off with Kubota. You talked to Kubota and managed to convince him to go through door 5 alone. You killed him without making it look like you killed him. The way I figure it, you had 4 motives. 1. In the Nonary game, the number 9 was dangerous. Whoever had the number 9 bracelet could join whatever team they wanted. You could add 9 to any number, and the digital route wouldn't change. Right, yes, the math, yes. In other words, number 9 could do whatever they wanted. Ace had wanted to remove that threat as soon as possible. Ace also wanted to have the number 9 bracelet himself so that he could make use of its power. In fact, he later made use of it with the murder of Nijisaki. Even if his number had been different, Kubota presented a problem for Ace. Kubota had known Ace's past. He'd known what happened 9 years before. Before he told anyone, Ace had to silence him. 4. But at last, and perhaps most disturbing, Ace had used Kubota as a test. He wanted to know how serious this Nonary game was. Was it truly life or death, or simply a harmless prank? He convinced Kubota to break the rules so that he might see what happened. That's why he killed Kubota, but he was only the first. Next was Nijisaki. While everyone was off looking for the missing part for the red, he ran to Nijisaki near the big hospital room. However, because of your prosopagnosia, you didn't realize he was Nijisaki, chiefly because, when you met him, he was dressed like Snake. That was why you thought Nijisaki was Snake. No, that's not... That was Nijisaki? Why? How did... I'll get to that. Anyway, you thought he was Snake. Snake was one of the kids in your experiment 9 years ago. You remember him because he was the blind kid. But his presence made you think. Snake was one of my subjects 9 years ago. He probably hates me. But if that's true, why isn't he saying anything? Is he keeping quiet because he can't see, or because he's working with Zero to get revenge on me? Whatever the reason, anyone who knows my past is a threat. Before he tries anything, I need to get rid of him. That was when you decided you had to kill him. The murder weapon was Kubota's bracelet. You just waved it over the red, verified your own number, and then grabbed Nijisaki's arm and forced it over to the scanner panel. That's when the door opened, and you kicked him in. 9 seconds later, the door closed. And then 81 seconds passed. And poor Nijisaki was dead. Do you mean to say Snake is still alive? Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm as good as new. Thank you for killing the wrong man, but I can't say I like knowing that you wanted me dead. Although, to be quite honest, even if you hadn't tried to kill me, I would have still hated you very much. Well, I wouldn't blame you. Ace's self-derision was infuriating, but Junpei kept his emotions in check and continued. Last but not least, let's talk about Musashito's death. When Clover and I were investigating the chart room, you came over to talk to me. Do you remember what you said? No, pocket watch? Might I take a look at it? I handed you the pocket watch and you left the room. Ace had been in charge of the Nunnery project. He would have, of course, had known the solution to every puzzle. It followed then that he knew how to get out of the wheelhouse. What the fuck? All Ace had to do was place the pocket watch in the indentation on the door to unlock it. With the door open, he'd be able to enter the captain's quarters. What the fuck? Musashito was there. Next to him was an axe that fairly begged Ace to kill Musashito with it. God damn it. He picked up the axe and swung it, burying the blade deep in the other man's chest. One blow was all it took. Afterwards, Ace returned to the chart room as though nothing had happened. There was something I wanted to speak to you about, Junpei. Could you please come with me for a moment? With no reason not to, Junpei had followed Ace to the wheelhouse. When they reached the wheelhouse, Ace slipped his hand into Junpei's vest. He pulled out a piece of paper, the piece of paper Junpei had used to cheat during the vote. But it wasn't the piece of paper that Ace was after. His troopers had been to slip the pocket watch into Junpei's pocket. It wasn't a very good plan. It had far too many flaws, and the wrong word of discovery could easily have toppled it. What had made Ace so desperate? That was the only thing Junpei hadn't been able to figure out. Musashito's murder is the only one I don't understand. You obviously did it, but why? Because of this. Slowly, Ace reached down and pulled something out of his pocket. It was a folded piece of paper. Junpei took it and opened it. This is what it said. Number 1. There are 2 ways you might survive this ordeal. The first is to win the Nonary game. The second is for you to confess your sins of 9 years past. I have prepared a camera in the captain's quarters. The images captured by that camera will be streamed through a satellite and distributed across the world. Simply look in the camera and repent. Once you have confessed everything, I will release you from the ship. What the fuck? To make your confession more credible, I have left you a witness in the captain's quarters. Perhaps he will confess with you. The decision is yours. Do as you please. 0. What the fuck? When I awoke in the room in D-Deck, I found that in my pocket. That's why I chose door 1 when we voted. If I went through that door, I knew I could get to the captain's quarters. As you said, I knew how to enter the wheelhouse. My plan was to find the pocket watch before anyone else. If I could, then my alibi would be set. At least that was the plan. Unfortunately for me, you got to it first. The slave hand was the best I could manage on a short notice. You meant to kill him from the beginning then? Musashito, I mean? I only knew Musashito was the witness after I reached the captain's quarters. I asked him and he answered. He seemed groggy. Perhaps he'd only just awoken from sedation. I suppose Nijisaki was in the same state. He seemed confused and disoriented when I encountered him. But yes, you are correct. I intended to kill him from the beginning, even though I didn't know who he was. I proceeded to the captain's quarters in order to remove this so-called witness. Ace had confessed everything. What energy had left with him with the truth, and he sagged, or what energy he had left him with the truth, and he sagged on his knees. Although he had confessed, his sins were not forgiven. Junpei felt revulsion for the pathetic man on the floor near his feet, but in among the revulsion was a hint of pity. After all, Ace had not been the only person who murdered those 3 people. Junpei spoke quietly. Ace, you figured it out, haven't you? You were being manipulated. Yes, so it would seem. I was a little more than a puppet in many ways. Everywhere I went, everything was already prepared. The Reds in the large hospital room were dismantled. Nijisaki was dressed like Snake. There was an axe in the captain's quarters. Musashito was delirious from the anesthetic, so he couldn't fight back. Nijisaki as well. In retrospect, I can't understand how I could have fallen for such a simple trap. I'm quite ashamed of myself. But yes, this was a trap. This was Zero's trap and I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. I had everything he wanted me to do. Yeah, by manipulating Ace, Zero was able to kill 3 people and keep the blood off his own hands. All of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this nunnery game happened. Am I right? Santa. Junpei looked over at Santa. As Junpei spoke, he stood up, his legs still shaky. Huh? What the hell are you talking about? I don't know any... Ain't no point in trying to play dumb anymore, Santa. Actually, I guess I should call you Aoi Kurashiki, huh? Seven's face was sad as he spoke. My memory came back, kid. You're Aoi Kurashiki, no doubt about it. Never thought I'd be back in this room talking to you. But hey, I guess this was all part of your plan, right? After all, the person who played the no-ring game this time around was Zero, and Zero's you. Heh, looks like you really do have your memories back, huh? Santa's smile was sarcastic and something else. Well, I guess there's no point in hiding it then, eh? Yeah, you got me. I'm Aoi Kurashiki. I was one of the kids in the nunnery game 9 years ago. I made it out, so did Snake over there. But there's one thing. No, I guess there's two things you got wrong. Number one, I ain't Zero. What? Wait, what? Sure, I was helping Zero out, but I'm really more of an assistant. Like a secretary. But an assistant's only an assistant. I didn't come up with all this. All I did was follow Zero's orders. Then, if you're not Zero, who is? Calm down there, Junpei. Didn't I say two things? You made one more mistake. Junpei, you just said all of this was a revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this nunnery game happened. But that's not it. Revenge isn't the only purpose. There's another reason you guys are playing the nunnery game. To save someone. Save? Someone? Right. You were brought here to help my sister. To save Akane. What the hell are you talking about? Akane Kurashiki died. Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago in this room. I was there, I saw... Suddenly, Seven froze. His eyes went wide as dinner plates and he spun around towards June. Junpei followed his gaze. She was gone. Where June had been, there was nothing. What the hell? Where is she? Where is Akane Kurashiki? Seven began to mumble to himself, a strange series of words strung together as if his mind wasn't functioning properly. His face was twisted with effort as though he were struggling with something they couldn't see. He gritted his teeth and pressed his hands against the side of his head. My head! My head! It feels like it's gonna pop! He groaned and fell to his knees. Seven, what the hell's going on? I don't know. I swear to God my head feels like it's about to explode. From somewhere far away, they all heard a deep, heavy noise. It sounded like a tremendous wheel, slowly beginning to turn. Santa seemed to have entered an almost trance-like state. His words were calm and measured. What was the nunnery project? I'm sure you already know, but I'll tell you one more time. It was a project designed to test a particular phenomenon. And what was that phenomenon? For two organisms to communicate with one another in the absence of physical contact. The morphogenic field theory. Could human beings use these invisible fields to exchange information? That was what this experiment was conducted to determine. There were two separate locations. One was the Gigantic, and the other was a building in Nevada called Building Q. Building Q had been built to replicate exactly the interior of the Gigantic. 9 children trapped in Building Q were faced with numerous puzzles, copies of identical ones on the Gigantic. They were told to send their answers to the morphic field set, transmit them to their brothers and sisters on the Gigantic. The transmitters were put in Building Q and the receivers were put on the Gigantic. Each sibling pair was supposed to be split up, but it was a mistake. Akane was a transmitter. She should have been in Building Q. However, for some reason, she was placed on the Gigantic with receivers like me. Perhaps she was mistaken for someone who's supposed to be in Group A. Whatever the case, Akane ended up on the Gigantic. Oh! I think I've told you enough. You get it, don't you? I'm pretty sure you know where this is going, Junpei. What? Where is this going? Don't play dumb. You know things you shouldn't, things you couldn't. How'd you know Ace had prosopagnosia? How'd you know why Ace wanted to kill Kubota and how Nijisaki was killed? Were you surprised when you found that Ace was Hongo? What about the coffin Snake was trapped in? How the hell did you open it? Well, the answer to that is too easy. He knew because I knew. Junpei was receiving information that I sent to him through the morphic field set. It's simple, really. How do I know the alternate futures, then? What the fuck is this? Imagine a river that splits in two, like an upside-down Y. The river flows from the top to the bottom, from a single stream into two branches. It only flows in one direction. It can never flow backwards. Information is the same way. It moves from the past to the future, but never flows backwards. That's why people at the river's source in the past will never know about those downstream in the future. But the people downstream will never know about one another either. Information only flows along the path of the river. But I am different. I can manipulate the morphic field set to pluck knowledge from the future. I know what happens on either fork of the river, even though the people on either fork know nothing about one another. Now, who am I? I am I, the 9th letter of the alphabet. But I am also 0. What the fuck is this? No, that's not true. I'm not really 0. Not yet. Perhaps you could say I am less than 0. 0 is my future. In 9 years, I will be 0. Where'd she go? June, no, Akane. Where did you go? Santa, Wise Clover. Or Wise Clover, oh shit. Freeze. Santa's got the gun. I guess he picked it up when we weren't watching. I guess he's turned the tables on Ace, though. Wonder how he's likes having a gun to his head. Get up. Sure isn't about to take that gun off him for a minute, is he? Ace isn't putting up any kind of fight. I mean, I don't think I would either, but he just looks drained. I guess he's going for the door, huh? He doesn't need to verify to go through that door, but... What's your plan, Santa? What are you doing? He can't get through any number of doors with just 2 people. What the hell is he thinking? Didn't I tell you? I'm Santa Claus. It's time for me to make a wish come true, baby. That's it? That's all he's gonna give us? What the hell does that even mean? Shit, they're out. And now the gate's shut. Looks like the rest of us are stuck in here. They're all looking at me. At least Seven's headache is gone. He seems to be alright. Well, I guess there's no harm in trying. Let's see if this door still opens. Damn. Well, it looks like this door isn't opening anytime soon. You mean we're trapped? So it would seem. What the hell is Santa trying to do? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, what? Haven't you considered where we are? There can really be only one thing Santa would do now. No. No, you can't be serious. Oh, but he is. Shit, we gotta do something. Maybe we can still get out through door 9. There is the red. Yeah, alright, we can do this. I've just gotta... No, it's not gonna work. There's no way. The 5 of us can't open this door. Is there any combination that'll work? Junpei, can I borrow your pen and notebook? Sure, why not? I don't think I'm gonna need them ever again. Well, she certainly looks purposeful. Looks like she's writing equations. A lot of them. Huh? Man, she doesn't look very happy. What? Hey, no need to be ripping pages out like that, jeez. What the hell are you doing, Clover? Give me that! Alright, at least Seven's got it away from her. Maybe now I can get a look at what she was writing. Let's see. Shit. There's no other way? Lotus. Looks like she figured it out, though. Man, this is just too cruel. It's okay. Go. Lotus. Come on, you know we can't do that. Or, whatever. Oh, don't give me that. I'm sure you'd love to get rid of me. God damn it, you idiot! Whoa, where the hell did that come from? Looks like she's expected That about as much as I did. Without a... If you're not a... Look, it'd be bad, alright? For a cop, he sure doesn't have much confidence. Bad? Yeah. If there weren't assholes like you around, I'd be out of a job. Huh? Look, I'm just not leaving you behind, alright? End of story. 7. He's right, I'm not leaving you either. Me too. You don't honestly think I'd abandon you, do you? You're all idiots. Act as tough as you want, Lotus. We can see you're about to cry. That being said, however, I doubt we'd be able to open the door anyway, even if we were to leave Lotus behind. Huh? Why? I trust you remember what happened to Ace. I couldn't see exactly what happened, but I was able to guess what he was attempting to do earlier at the red. Oh yeah. Hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom. Alright, no, what is this? Yeah, why? The digital root should be 9, it has to be 9. Just to see, why don't we give it a shot? Give it a shot? Yes, that is what I said. You're right. It ain't opening. But it did open 9 years ago. The digital root was 9 then, I'm sure of it. You think maybe they've changed the settings? Perhaps. Shit, if we can't get through the door, we can't get out. The walls are way too high. There's no way in hell we could get to that hole 7 popped out 9 years ago. All we can do is stand here and stare at this door with a 9 on it. I guess this is it. This is the end.